Spoiler warning.
Guys, what did we see recently?
Project Power.
No one men should have Project Power on Netflix out now.
I agree. No one man should have this on Netflix.
So what are thoughts going into this?
I didn't even watch the trailer.
Yeah. I didn't really know anything.
I just heard the premise. Random superpower for 5 minutes. Drugs, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Jamie Foxx.
Premise slaps.
Yeah, I was like, sold. Don't
Yeah,
need to watch the trailer.
That's easy to sell someone on.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can't sell a movie just on premise, which sucks.
Except you can with
You
Project
absolutely
Power.
can. There are movies that you can sell to me on just premise.
Yeah, but they might suck. Like Bloodshot, where the premise was great, and then I watched the movie and went, oh, this sucks.
Yeah, but you got to remember in the premise you could just put, Vin Diesel starring.
It wasn't entirely his fault, but it was.
So anyways, I had zero expectations for this film.
Yeah, I didn't
And
really.
I would say largely it whelmed me. I was never like really blown away by the film.
Oh, yeah, you're fucking. Yeah, it was all right. No, it was great. I actually really enjoyed myself.
I had a good time, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed watching it. I thought the dialogue was good. I thought Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt were both hilarious.
Agreed, they're both fantastic.
That scene when like Joseph Gordon-Levitt goes into Robin's mom's house and he goes up to the officer and he's like, "What's wrong? Is it that I'm white?"
That's so funny.
Fucking hilarious.
So I have 3 real big compliments to give this movie.
All right.
That's that the script is great.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
The directing is great,
Mhm.
and the premise slaps.
Yes.
So
Agreed.
every other flaw the movie has, I totally understand and will probably agree with you guys. However, those 3 core elements of this movie make this movie a fantastic 2 hours to sit down and just chill and like, oh my god, it's so fun. It is such
There's
a
that.
great
I'm going
time.
to add something to that. I also think the acting in this film was great.
I
That was
agree.
one of my
Yep.
3. No, it wasn't. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, acting was great.
Now it's 4.
Jogo and Jamie Foxx both did a really good job.
And the girl who played Robin, I think her
Yes.
name's Dominique Fishback.
Yep.
Fashback.
This is like the movie that like, cause like I've looked like her filmography after this came out, like this morning basically.
Yeah, same.
And
I was like, what else is the girl
like,
in?
oh, she's kind of obscure, kind of does this and that, and this is like her first launching off point. I feel like if she capitalizes on that, she could be really big, or at
Yeah.
the very least marketable. Because
Yeah.
she's really talented.
No,
She
she was
was.
really good.
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx is pretty hit or miss for me in most movies he's in because he's either really, really good or bad.
I
And
haven't seen
I thought he
him
did a good job.
I haven't seen Amazing 2, so I can't say I've ever seen a movie where I don't like him.
I would say that even in Amazing 2, he gave it all.
His
He gave it his all. I don't
His
blame him.
character is so bad that I don't think he could have saved it. But at the same
This is
time,
true.
I don't think he did a good job in that movie at all.
Honestly,
You know.
the only movies I can
character,
think of,
but-
the only movies I can think of that I've seen with Jamie Foxx in them are Django Unchained and Baby Driver.
I think his best performance was in Ray, where he was Ray Charles.
Haven't seen it.
That was a really good movie.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Back on track.
do you want to talk about positives or negatives? Because we kind of went over positives a lot.
I got a pretty big hot take.
Okay.
The last act of this film sucks.
I disagree. I think a big part of it sucks, and I want to get into that.
It's so boring and not interesting.
When
And-
she's got the headset with the submarine hitting doors, and he's bendy guy.
Oh, before that, yeah,
frog
all of
guy.
everything on the ship. Everything on the ship was boring.
Whoa! What
Really?
about the bendy guy fight? The bendy guy fight slaps.
It's fine.
What about frog bone guy fight? That was a good fight.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
I disagree.
He has bones for his arms. Like, you can't go wrong. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
everyone has bones in their arms.
No, on the
No,
outside of
he
his
does
arms.
the ching with his elbows.
Yeah.
It wasn't interesting to me, especially because my biggest problem is that Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Jamie Foxx, for the large part, their powers do not matter in that final fight. They're not powered up.
So
Joseph Gordon-Levitt is, but all he has is invulnerability. There's only 2 scenes where his invulnerability matters.
I am going to point out a hot, fresh take. So they established that these pills are random and work for 5 minutes. And since they're in the beta testing phase, they have a lot of side effects, which I think is a great premise and a great way to add it to a layer to superpowers in general in movies. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, one of the protagonists, takes 2 pills. Both make him bulletproof, and both of them, after taking them in 5 minutes, he gets shot and would have died.
The powers are random, but they are
They don't
random
randomize
for your
every time.
specific person.
Yeah. They don't randomize every time.
So if you take it, you get a random power, but that is your random power that you keep.
They didn't say that.
That's how it's established.
That's how it works in the film.
Yep.
That's why Jamie Foxx knew he was a pistol shrimp.
Well, in that case, that was not set up in the movie.
I agree. Well, I think that's also just problems with the wording, because I also thought it was
That's
going to
just a
be
wording
random superpowers every time.
Yeah, that's
so
what it
that
was
did
marketed as.
detract for me from it, where I was like, oh, Joseph Gordon-Levitt is invulnerable, and it just, I don't know. I feel like they didn't play up Joseph Gordon-Levitt's invulnerability enough for me to be like, yeah, this is an awesome power.
And then the other thing, they're all based off animals in evolution, and that works 90% of the time.
Yeah.
There is no solar flare hippopotamus that he took that last pill with.
Pistol shrimps.
I know it's supposed to be the pistol shrimp. I looked into the pistol shrimp. I'm a big fan of the pistol shrimp. I get it. I like
They
shrimp.
slap.
I love eating shrimp, but I also love the pistol shrimp. He turns into Dr. Manhattan and starts like eviscerating, and he waves to like his fingers, and guys just turn to bone like immediately, and he does like that seismic yelly move that everyone.
And then
superhero
Robin,
does.
who's standing at the same distance as all the other guys.
Yep.
Fine, because he like splashed some water at her
Yeah,
or something.
he moves his hand. The filmmaking of that was trying to show that he moved his hand to only hit the guy, even though he's in an AoE area of effect.
Bullshit.
Yeah, like none of it made any
If it
fucking sense.
explodes out in a circle, you can't target one section of the circle to not get hit.
You know what else, too? That scene would have been fixed had you not included the animal's explanation. I would have just been like, oh, he's just a superpower. He just
I
got a random
agree.
one. You know what I mean? Like, or just give him super
Like,
speed.
it makes sense.
And he
He-
snapped
he
everyone's
was like-
necks or something. I don't know.
He was like, I never want to take it again. Yeah, I understand why, because you basically become God.
Yeah. Ultimate get out of jail free card for that guy.
I like how all of them have side effects except Joseph Gordon-Levitt's.
Yeah,
Yes.
he never actually gets hurt.
That-
Even when he gets shot, he's not
He
really
just has
hurt.
red eye.
It's terrible. I don't. I think they
Jamie
really
think-
Foxx's side
I
effect is
think
dying.
The use of the premise in this film was wholly under the mark.
I would not say wholly. I think aside from the protagonists, they did awesome things with everyone else who took the pills. Do you know what I
I
mean?
agree.
I don't agree. I think some powers were kind of boring in the fights. Like giant guy from LXG, I thought he
Okay,
wasn't
that
that
guy
interesting.
sucked, but, like-
I personally didn't find Bone Guy to be that interesting. I thought his
I
power
like
was
Bone
cool, but I
Guy.
don't think they did any. Like, what if he broke his bones off and hucked them at people? You know, that'd be awesome.
That's X-Men 3: The Last Stand you're thinking of.
That's the kid from X-Men Evolution.
But like the Machine Gun Kelly on fire fight at the beginning, that was
Oh,
really
how
good.
That's
Slaps.
the best. I think that was the best fight in the film because it also had like smart, ways to have a fight
I like
with a guy who's
Octopus,
on fire.
the cloaking octopus naked guy. That's a pretty good fight. Too.
His dick wasn't on screen.
I know, 0.
0. He's naked, and I
Exactly.
couldn't see his penis.
And it's R-rated on Netflix. You
And
can
it
put
was
his dick on there.
R-rated. Where's his penis? I know this is stupid to talk about, but like
It's a weird hill to die on.
He's naked. He's fucking naked. Just put his fucking dick in the
The
film.
side effect is he has no penis now.
Yeah,
Did he turn into he's a straight up Ken doll. I was looking. I was like, dude, there's nothing there. I think that's stupid.
That's so
I
funny.
think that's dumb. Just put his dick on screen. It would make the scene so much funnier.
Aside from the whole fucking protagonists taking the pills problems I have, I liked almost all of this movie. I think it did a really good job of being a movie.
I liked the first 2/3 of this film.
I think it's just really fun overall. Even the end doesn't bother me too much. His powers are bullshit, but like his powers were gonna be bullshit. You could tell by the
Oh
setup.
yeah. I mean, I can watch the whole thing. It's just I felt like the climax of the film was just a step down from what the film had been building to. But that's a compliment to the first 2/3 of the film. I thought it was a really solid story about, this guy trying to find his daughter and then this other guy trying to find him and how Robin plays into that. And I thought Robin was a really good character connecting the whole story. I thought there was some really good lines. Like, I think my favorite one was Jamie Foxx says something along the lines of, all right, so you're going to keep playing? Because if you do, I'm going to knock your ass out and I'm
Now
going to
go
kill your mom.
Yep.
Fucking hilarious.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, that is almost a good point.
That is almost a good point.
I like how the two protagonists don't meet until 2/3 in.
I do.
I like that a lot. I like how they built up each story.
Yes, and they built
basically-
up both stories very well.
It's basically two separate films. One's a revenge take, and then the other one's like a rogue cop on the run from the law.
like a crime,
like a
there's
classic
corruption.
cliched cop crime film.
Yeah, like
But I think it takes those tropes and makes them not super cliche and garbage.
I
I
like
think-
how Joe
That's the writing. The writing's really good for that.
Mhm.
both Joe Gorlev and his police captain were corrupt for different reasons in different ways, and I like that a lot.
There's no like he wasn't the fucking squeaky clean Boy Scout, like, oh, the moral code will win the day. He was like, no, I'm popping pills.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me drugs.
Got to even up the playing field.
And I think there's like, especially like halfway through the movie, there's a lot of layers that get added to the story, and I wish they paid them all off. They paid some of them off.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I had a good time.
Wait
with
for
it.
Project Power 2. More power.
Fuck yes. More Power
More
is a
Power.
great title. Yes. Oh, I'm there for More Power.
I
as
would
soon as
not
it
be
drops.
opposed to another one of these films set in this
Netflix
universe.
wants a series. Like they tried to make it Bright. Their
Nobody
big
liked
series.
Bright.
No one liked this. They stopped sequels. But they
I wouldn't
wanted, like,
mind
10 of
another
those.
Project Power film.
Hell yeah.
I
Yeah,
would want.
I agree. It'd be fun.
I would want Joe Gordon-Levitt to come back. I
Yep.
don't want to. I don't know if I want Jamie Foxx to come back just because his character arc's complete.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, like his character.
They steal his daughter, but again, that'd be
Yeah,
dumb.
and my point with Jamie Foxx's character is he has his happy ending.
Yeah.
You know, but Joe Gordon-Levitt, he's just a cop. Give him more drugs.
I was really scared that when they said that they took his daughter and used like her spinal fluid or whatever, I was gonna be. I thought my big fear was that it was gonna be the Predator 2018 thing where it's like she.
Oh, they
has
wanted to
autism.
steal her autism.
Take the autism right out of the spine. Where
They
it's stored.
can't, dude. She doesn't have autism. Autism's stored in the balls.
That's true. That's a fact. That's why I'm retarded.
The soundtrack was okay.
I think the regular soundtrack was okay, but the songs that they played like intermittently, like the already made real life songs, slapped.
I'm
Yeah.
not usually into references, but I like the Clint Eastwood quote unquote scenes.
Yes,
I think they
yes.
did a good thing with that and made it funny.
Yeah.
So
I liked the editing, especially for Jamie Foxx's like PTSD flashbacks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really,
Those were
really
those
good
were
scenes.
great. They were so chaotic and like rapidly cut,
So I
and
agree.
you just got into the psyche of the character.
I agree those are good edited scenes, but I think the scenes were really, really cliche. Like, of course,
They
he's gonna
are
remember
100% exposition. dump.
Remember his dead daughter in this moment of turmoil. He's got to find his dad
Oh yeah,
on the
it's
run.
it's 100% an exposition dump, but
Yeah.
the way it was edited made it at least interesting.
Yeah,
Well,
it
it's
made it
also, like-
palatable.
Like when he's driving the car and he has the whole like panic attack and he remembers crashing, and then it cuts back to real life and he's like on top of like hazard cones because he drove over a sidewalk or something.
Those are scenes to me that told me the movie is not a quote unquote super movie. It's an action movie with superhero elements.
Yes,
It is mainly an action movie.
I did. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I think I would not constitute this a superhero film.
Not at all. I mean,
Like-
there's not even superheroes in it. But
Yeah, there's
either
no
way.
like the.
It'd be
uh,
sci-fi if anything,
It's
Yeah.
a science
Or
fiction, yeah, but
fantasy.
a lot of action movies are science fiction.
or
you know?
fantasy.
No,
maybe,
I'd
but-
say science
It- it
fiction.
tries-
Superpowers follow the mix of both of those things.
I'd say
Yeah, but
fantasy for the solar
given
flare
that
man
it's-
at the end, but
given
no,
given
yeah,
that it's a drug thing, I'd
Be
say
sci-fi, yeah.
sci-fi. If it was just like, oh, people randomly have powers,
they try and explain it. Yeah.
yeah.
So.
The rapping scene against the teacher was completely useless.
I think if it wasn't a dream, I would have hated it. But I think
I
it
think
worked
so,
as a
too.
dream.
I don't think it worked as a dream.
Okay.
I think we had already established enough about Robin, and there isn't really much payoff to it other than she raps for Jamie Foxx later, but that's like only halfway through the film, so it's not really.
But she also raps in the open.
Does she?
Yeah, the opening of the movie is her the power rap that she makes.
Oh, that's right.
But the fact that we already established that she raps from the opening scene, so a second her rapping scene.
Was unnecessary, and I
Yeah.
don't know if they were like trying to establish that she doesn't have a lot of confidence in herself because she's
Yeah.
kind of a bad bitch. So like,
Mhm.
I don't get that. There's no payoff. The teacher never comes back,
Yeah,
and it's like, what do you want to do with your future? I don't feel like that was the point of Robin's character, because at the end she still doesn't really have, like, she's not like
Yeah.
decided like, oh, I'm gonna be a cop, or oh, I'm gonna be Project Power,
I'm gonna be Project Power 2, more power.
you know.
Yeah.
So there's no real payoff to it. So I just felt like it was a weird, cliched, poorly written scene that
A lot of scenes where teachers
the
are like,
film-
"What do you want to do? You're failing this class. I'm gonna call you out in front of everybody."
Yeah, the
You know what I
teacher
mean?
was an
Like,
asshole. Like
yeah, when
I
it
felt
started,
like
those little bits of dialogue, I was like, wow, the first shit dialogue in the whole movie.
Yeah.
And then I realized, oh, it's supposed to be what she wants him to say so she can fantasy in her head. I get that totally.
yeah, no, I mean when you're having an argument with someone, you make them say the dumbest shit possible, so it's easy to pick them apart
Exactly.
psychologically.
So that's why it worked for me. Like, it's really dumb because she's
just-
imagining it being dumb.
It just didn't work for me.
I get that. I see why.
I just felt like it added nothing to Robin's character and just kind of added like this weird level of like that was weird,
Mhm.
awkward, and useless.
Well,
That's
I
fair.
guess if you look at the movie and you cut that scene out, she doesn't
You-
have much more to her character besides.
you don't
the fact
lose
that she
anything.
You don't lose anything, but like, I guess. Well, I guess you do kind of lose. You kind of lose that aspect, but I don't know.
But the aspect never comes back.
it comes back in the form of like her rapping.
Yeah,
But
but
she
she
raps
raps
at
for
the beginning
Jamie
of the
Foxx,
movie,
no
yeah.
problem.
I guess rapping isn't a it's just a character trait. It's not really
Yeah,
like
it's a character
character.
trait.
It's not a story.
You know, and like it's not a payoff. You see her rap at the beginning, and then she doesn't rap for her teacher, and then the Jamie Foxx is like, "Give me some bars," and she does it, no problem. And the payoff for that scene is when Joseph Gordon-Levitt busts into the deal with Casey Neistat.
I wonder.
And he's like, she said something about a seismograph, and I don't remember, but she said, "Am I lying?"
Yeah, that was
like
good.
that's the payoff to that scene, is he uses the words that he gave her.
Right, but I feel like her story didn't really like conclude. Like I feel like it needs quote unquote
her
a sequel
story
or something like that where she can like maybe she's trying to get out of the whole superhero evil corruption business and wants to go into like, I don't know, professionally rapping. Or what is that paying off in the end? You know what I mean?
She at the end of the movie, the song on the radio was her song, so she did do the professional rapping thing.
She got a song on the radio?
Yeah, did you guys not watch the same movie I watched?
I didn't pay like the end credits.
At the end credits,
Dude,
right
do you think
before
I watched the end fucking
gonna watch the end
credits? It's
credits.
Netflix. I
right
hit
before
pause.
the end credits, it's Jamie Foxx's daughter driving, and it goes, "Now the new hit single by Robin
Really?
featuring Chica." Yes,
Didn't even hear it.
Passed?
I was like, "Oh, movie's over," and
How
I
much
turned it
time
off.
passed?
it was. I don't know.
Was it like years?
No
I don't
idea,
know. It
but
doesn't look. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter at all.
But that her story
I
did have a somewhat of a.
But my
conclusion.
point
hear
is,
that at all.
I feel like it's setting up like whatever it's set up for Robin in that scene doesn't really matter to her at the end of the day within the context of the film.
Yeah, that the scene that you're talking about, I definitely agree.
The teacher scene.
Yeah,
Just
she has a story arc, and it doesn't need to be fully closed off. I feel,
Yeah.
because she gets the money from Jamie Foxx's car. She can help pay for her mom's thing. That's a wrap up a little bit on that.
yeah.
And then that scene at the end
And she
of the
gets
movie,
closure for Newt's death, and she's able to give up the life of a drug dealer.
and
Like
at
that's
the
a character
end,
arc right there.
there is her rapping at the thing, so it
Yeah.
does.
Oh, she probably used the money to fund her rap career too.
And help
Yeah,
her mom.
so-
Yep.
Help her mom, sure.
So I don't know. The teacher thing just
No, I agree. The
it
teacher
just
thing,
it
it's
hammer
a little too
honed
long.
more importantly, it hammer home something. It made something more on the nose than it needed to be, because there's a scene later on where Jamie Foxx and Robin are driving in the car, and he's like, you know, "You're not a kid anymore. You left that all behind." And she's like trying to plead her case, and he's like, "What the fuck are you gonna do when you grow up?" And that's just a repeat of the teacher scene. So out of 10, guys.
Yeah, out of 10, I'd probably go with fucking.
I was thinking a 7 or an 8.
I'm thinking 7.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking 7 or 8. I don't know which one I prefer, but
I don't think I
closer
could
to
give
a
it.
7. Like,
I don't think I can give it more than a 7.
I'd probably give it yeah. End of the day, I'm gonna lead towards Mud because I do have my problems with it.
That's
But
because I'm correct.
at the end,
well, I
still,
wouldn't
though,
go that far, sir.
even beyond my out of 10 score, I had a great fucking time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
this
really
movie's
good
great.
time.
It's really
if you're
fun.
if you're not doing anything this weekend, watch Project Power.